Okay, so first of all, there's a crazy noise going on over here, so I apologize if that's what you're hearing. I don't even know if this is gonna work. I hope I don't spend an hour recording this and it's bullshit, but we're gonna have to do it because I have things I need to say. So, for my life, I have always been a writer. I like to call myself that, even though no one probably reads it. But that's kind of why I'm doing this, because people don't pick up books anymore and read. People don't, and it's more about like relating in videos that people want to do. They don't necessarily want to open a book and read anymore. And I think that in my writings, it's kind of rambly and people are like, okay, I'm done. So maybe this will help get my point across. For those that don't know me, I don't know anyone that'll watch this that doesn't, if anyone will. I am 36 years old. I have 2 daughters. I'm married. I've been married going on 11 years. We've been together for 13. My oldest is about to be 13, and my youngest is about to be 9. A lot of what I want to say, without expressing my complete journey, both my husband and I have made some pretty crappy decisions in our life. We, about 3 years ago, in January 1st of 2020, I will be celebrating 3 years in recovery from alcohol. I haven't drank a sip of alcohol since that time. With that, my husband's also in recovery, and he is going on, in November, I think will be 2 years for him. I should probably know the date, huh? Oh well. But with that said, we live a beautiful life now, but that life has not always been beautiful by any means. It's actually been kind of scary. And the thing that haunts me, to be honest with you, is thinking about how and what my children will remember of me when I'm no longer here. And honestly, that could have been far too soon. All the times I drank, my children could have woke up and I was gone. And whew, and what would they have remembered of me? What could they be told, or what would they think of every day? That's hard. Anyway. But I'm very thankful that my husband and I both have decided to change, because that's what it's all about. Being better version of yourself. Okay, the biggest thing I think about is the legacy I'm going to leave for my kids. Unfortunately, we've all dealt with grief. I hope you guys haven't, but for the majority, there's been a lot of people that have dealt with grief. We've all lost someone that we love. There's a person that's coming right up to me in my thoughts right now, and it's my grandma. And she left an amazing legacy for us to remember her by. And I honor her with my sobriety, to be honest with you, because I know she would be so proud. But I also think of what is the legacy that I would have left, or what will the legacy be when I am no longer here? What will my children share with their children and their children? What will be remembered of me? I don't want to be remembered for the woman who gave up. I don't want my children and future grandchildren, that's crazy, to be able to say, when telling stories of me, listening to stories about my life, I don't want them to be embarrassed or ashamed. I hope they think back on the long car rides when I was way too brutally honest. And this is funny because on the way back from my cousin's wedding yesterday, Jayla and I love our talks. We talk about some awesome stuff. But I always kind of go, shit, I shouldn't have told her that thing that happened to me. But I always want her, both of them, anyone, to never experience the negative situations, the traumatic situations I went through. So I think that's why I share a lot of the things. And I don't know, I've always been kind of too brutally honest with Jay. I speak more with Jay because Alexis and I don't necessarily have that communication yet. And we'll get into that and why later, another time. But it's like I always want to show and explain to Jalen, like, I've been through a lot and I made some really shitty choices. But look where I am now. Not that I'm any better, I have tried to make healthier decisions. And by explaining the things I've been through, I want her to see that this is where I am now because of the healthy, hard decisions I had to make. Hope my daughters carry on in a similar rambling fashion that I tend to get so awkwardly embarrassed about. Because, I don't know if you ever spoke to me one-on-one, face-to-face, I will ramble and then I'm like, oh my God, I need to shut up. It's the anxiety, I swear to God. I hope they learn that although life is going to be hard and some days it feels impossible and people will hurt them, I hope they make the positive choice that may Hurt in the moment, but eventually will make them strong. I want the words my daddy always taught me, that there isn't anything in this world you can't handle. We can adjust to anything, any circumstances, and to always remember most of the bad things that happen to you in life are caused by your own choices, your own action. That right there, what I just said, is one of the things my daddy always told me. It's ridiculous. I remember like, oh my God, shut up. You don't know anything. But guess what? Here I am, 36 years old, and my daddy knew everything. It is the strongest message of all of the goofy things in this world that he told me. That is what has been instilled in me, and I take so much pride, so much desire passing that on to my children, and so on. Their children, their children. God, I hope so. Every action has a reaction. I tend to focus on the negative because I guess the transformation, or the idea that everyone who's had a negative life, you can overcome that and you can make positive out of it, is the message I want to put off. But I also want to say that I was very blessed with an amazing mom and an amazing dad. I am thankful every day for the choices they made to give me a better life, because I know out of everything that's what they did. They gave me a beautiful life, and it never was perfect, but I am thankful for the good. One of the biggest and most impactful moments of my life was when I started to realize, when I became a mom, I started to realize, and it started sinking into my thoughts, as I was juggling being a mom and I'm trying to be successful, and I'm like, hold on, I've been holding a spitting baby all day long. All I want to do is go take a bath. In those moments, I realized that before my mom was a mom, she was a person. My mom is not just my mom. I thought she was put on this earth to do everything for me. She's put here to make my life better. Now, these are the immature thoughts I had as a teen and into my 20s. But the moment I had a child, oh, I got it, Mom. My mom had and has dreams and desires and ideas. She wanted happiness for herself. She had goals. She wanted to accomplish so many things, and I'm sure still has a laundry list. I'm sure she has a laundry list of things she's completed. My mom's had an amazing life. But I'm sure there's a longer list of goals she has yet to complete, and I understand that. She's felt human emotion. Your moms are human. Believe it or not. At one point, she had a beautiful vision of the life that she wanted. That idea that we all want, the idea of marriage, the idea of kids. Oh yeah, she had that idea. With that beautiful idea, she also had the pain of reality, which, and I don't mean to say my mom has ever in 1,000 years complained about her life. Never. I can say that wholeheartedly, but I can guarantee that in her heart, she has felt pain of not reaching her goals, of not doing the things she wanted to do. I'm sure she's felt sad. I'm sure she's felt mad. I know she's felt mad. She's felt doubt, and at times overwhelming exhaustion. Oh my God, I can't even imagine how she was even able to sleep at night when I was doing some of the things that I was doing. She's human. And I am so thankful for the realization that my mom, although so incredible, absolutely incredible, she's incredible to me. She's an incredible human. She's more than that. She's something different to many people. She's something different to every person in her life. She's a friend, a wife, a sister, an aunt, a daughter, a cousin, a grandma, a confidant, a secret keeper, a best friend, a leader. She is so much to, she's amazing. I get really tearful. I get very tearful about my mom because I know my daughter's only 12, so I can't even begin to compare my moments of fear to what my mom had to deal with. And I'll talk about this in another time. I know I always talk about it because I want to show the things I was through and I overcame it. But I was in an abusive relationship for 16 to 20, and I can't imagine how my mom went to sleep knowing, but being in denial of what I was going through. I just don't know how she did it. She's so strong. But this, I want to put into the universe that just because they are parents, that doesn't mean they are defined by that. You're not just a parent. You're everything. You are a friend still. You're a person. With that, I hope we all can take a moment to evaluate ourselves, please, and ask what we want to be remembered for. If that answer is something that seems unattainable, I hope you realize that you have the power to change. So the next generation can feel your legacy in a positive way. We all deserve to give a positive legacy. You have the power to accomplish anything within reason. It's kind of funny. I made a joke like, I want to be a butterfly, but you know, that's never going to happen. But I can sure jump out of a plane and slightly fly. Oh, God. Positive living is not what you've been programmed to believe. It is not defined by having the best, buying the best, looking the best, living the best. That is not happiness to me. Happiness is making the choice to focus on the good, but accepting the bad, but having the power to know you hold the mind power to overcome it. Where you are right now, if you feel inadequate about where you're at, you can change it. And change hurts. Change, when you're hurting in a positive way for change, that means you're making a difference. So, what does Jalen do?